St. Louis Mayor Tashara Jones says she's taking back strategies used in Atlanta for nightclub owners and eyeing ways to reduce crimes around convenience stores.
We have a lot of violence around convenience stores and gas stations, so how can we hold those business owners accountable and also bring down crime?
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the mayor of St. Louis, Missouri, attempting to hold gas station owners accountable for crime and violence that happens in and near their establishments. Now, this has got to be one of the dumbest ideas I've ever heard in my entire life. This is terrible. And her inspiration for this grand idea comes from what they do with nightclub owners. Okay, you got a bunch of crime and violence that happens all the time in your nightclub. At a certain point, you as an owner are held accountable. Maybe not with a criminal penalty, maybe not even a civil penalty necessarily all the time, but your liquor license gets revoked, things of this nature. You are held accountable sometimes when you keep having crime and violence that happens. Now, I understand why they may do it for nightclubs. I'll get to that reasoning a little bit later. But at gas station, I'm wondering how in the world a gas station owner is to be held accountable for crime and violence that happens in and near the gas station. So if somebody gets carjacked at a pump, is that the gas station owner's fault? If a gas station gets flash robbed randomly by 100 teens, is that the gas station owner's fault? I'm having a hard time being able to put two and two together to get four. It's really just racking my brain. I'm no mathematician, but this should be basic addition, subtraction, and the math ain't math. And now before I go any further, let's get into the actual news clip. If you want to see the clip in full without my commentary, link as always will be in the description. If you're on IG, visit the link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Eyes on Memphis tonight as leaders from states across the country meet in the Bluff City for the first ever Black Mayors Coalition on Crime.
Before she continues, I just want to address the elephant in the room straight away. I know some of you guys are going to get offended. Oh, why does it have to be black mayors? Why can't it be white mayors? That's racist. I understand your concern, but really that's not even important. The most important thing is what they're talking about as far as their solutions for crime and violence or their lack thereof. But I digress.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Joy Redmond. Joe Birch has the night off. Action News 5's Bria Bolden joins us live from downtown Memphis and explains why Mayor Paul Young believes the collaboration is vital to responding to crime. Bria.
Yeah, Joy. Well, Mayor Paul Young actually created this coalition along with the African American Mayors Association, trying to discuss solutions to crime around the country. Now, he says having these conversations with leaders all around the country is vital. Here are some ideas he thinks might work here in Memphis.
The national crime data may show some decreases in overall crime stats, but what we discussed today is that if people don't feel safe, then the statistics don't matter.
Whether you're walking the streets of Memphis and Shelby County, pumping gas, or just sitting in your home, you deserve to feel safe wherever you go.
Let's pause right here. As far as Memphis, Chicago, a lot of these places, you're going to have a lot of crime and violence in certain pockets of the community. Atlanta is a good example. I don't go to Memphis too much, but Atlanta, people say, oh, it's crazy, it's dangerous. I mean, it depends on where you go. It's really kind of isolated. It's starting to kind of spill over in the bucket a little bit, but not much. I mean, I go down there all the time and it's pretty safe. And you have pretty conservative gun laws, not as in they don't let you have one, but as you can have your gun out there. So you're good in Atlanta for the most part. If you go to certain parts, you go to downtown, midtown, certain times of the night, have your gun on you, you'll be fine. You'll be okay. Don't leave a bunch of jewelry in your car, leaving your car running, some common sense things, and you'll be okay. But there is a problem with crime and violence in some of these cities. And let's continue.
We're ensuring amongst ourselves that this will not be the last engagement, but that we will continue to lean in.
Mayors and leaders from Jackson, Mississippi, Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., Atlanta, Durham, St. Louis, and more meeting Wednesday and Thursday to talk crime and solutions. St. Louis Mayor Tashara Jones says she's taking back strategies used in Atlanta for nightclub owners and eyeing ways to reduce crimes around convenience stores.
We have a lot of violence around convenience stores and gas stations, so how can we hold those business owners accountable and also bring down crime? And then some of the things that we're already doing, we're finding that other mayors are doing as well.
let's pause. Okay, so you want to hold gas station owners accountable for the crime and violence that happens in and near gas stations, and you're taking cues from what they do with nightclub owners in a place like Atlanta and other parts of the country as well. See, the difference is a gas station already has rules against some of the things that nightclubs encourage. An example, you can't or you shouldn't be able to usually buy alcohol at a gas station and drink it right there on the premises. At a certain point, that's called loitering. They can call the police and you're removed away from the premises. But at a nightclub, it's encouraged as actually the thing to do to buy a drink inside the club and hang out right there while you're drinking with others who are doing the exact same thing. That is the whole point of a nightclub. Clubs, bars, etc., you drink right there. Gas station, not the same way. Also, nightclubs are not retail stores. A gas station usually has a retail store. What happens with a gas station is they have flash robs. We'll get to those in a little bit. I'll show some footage and how they're going to solve that problem. But if there's a flash rob and people are drinking and loitering, these are already illegal things that the police can be called for. They're not encouraged by the gas station. So how are they held accountable? Now with a nightclub, it's encouraged to kind of hang out, drink, all of that. The problem with nightclubs when they get in trouble is when they don't do the pat downs properly. Guys are getting guns inside the clubs. I know there was one story, true story, back in the day in Virginia. A guy had a gun under his seat in the wheelchair, like not under the actual seat itself, not under the cushion, but under himself. And between himself and the actual seat was a gun. He wasn't checked properly. They ain't like lift him up out of the thing. They ain't wand him or anything. He got the gun in the club. He gets in there, stands up, pulls the gun and shoots and deletes somebody right there on the dance floor. That's an example of a nightclub being negligent. That kind of activity does not happen in a gas station. So you're barking up the wrong tree. What you should do is get some of these teens, some of these hooligans arrested when they commit crime and violence over and over again, so you wouldn't be trying to point the finger at the gas station. But I'm getting triggered, so I digress.
Doing as well.
Discussions with the Council on Criminal Justice and chats between leaders were closed to the public and media. According to the Memphis-Shelby Crime Commission, overall crime went up 6% in Shelby County in 2023 compared to 2022. Violent crime was also up in 2023, and the biggest issue, property crime, up nearly 16% in the county. You may remember more than 14,000 vehicles were stolen in Memphis last year. Mayor Paul Young specifically named Charlotte's Operation Scarlet as something to possibly imitate in Memphis. Last year, Charlotte police found 180 stolen luxury vehicles valuing more than $11 million, guns, and drugs. Federal charges are being pursued in that case.
And people want the short-term solution. They want to figure out how we're going to stop crime today. And then we want to figure out how do we stop the crime of the future.
So that's what's happening out there in Memphis. They have a Black Mayors Coalition, the first ever of its sort in Memphis, Tennessee. They're trying to figure out how to reduce the crime and violence. Well, if you want my opinion, just a regular old normie out here in the streets, I'm not an elected official. I'm nothing like that. I'm just a regular guy in this house with an opinion. You got to get hard on crime. You got to go really hard on crime. And the people who are committing it cannot be allowed to roam the streets to commit crime over and over again. Now, speaking of people committing crime over and over again, this was in Philly in September of 22. Okay, so I have a short video about this on my page. I'll turn the sound off because it's not needed here, but you can see what's happening. This is like a flash rob, what happens in the gas station. So how is a gas station owner to be held accountable for a thing like this? What are they going to do in this situation? You got 100 hooligans, teens, whatever you want to call them, all in the store, taking stuff, running away, doing a little bit of everything. What are they to do with that? Now, in a nightclub, people all in the place, not acting the fool like this, but all in the place, maybe drinking under the influence is encouraged. That's the whole point of a nightclub. Again, not acting the fool, throwing things, but to have a lot of people in there, partying or whatever, that's kind of the environment, kind of a carnival atmosphere. But a gas station is not like that. If you're doing things like this at all, anywhere close to it, that's enough to get the police called on you. But when they get caught and nothing happens, how can the gas station be held accountable? Now, here's what some gas station owners are doing. Okay, this is in Philly. I can hear your accent, sir. I know you're in Philly, and that gas station flash rob was also in Philly at a Wawa. So this is how they are solving the problem. This is gas station owners holding themselves accountable and protecting their own interests without the mayors of a particular place having to impose certain rules and penalties on them. Check it out.
They made Wawa. You gotta get everything off the touchscreen. Look at this shit, man. They got everything blocked off. You can't get no more snacks. No more.
So if you can't understand what he's saying through that crazy, no more snacks. If you can't understand what he's saying through that crazy accent, what he's saying is everything is blocked off. There's no more ability to just pick things up in a normal convenience store fashion. You have to order everything on the touchscreen. Wawa is famous, as I close. Wawa is famous for having the touchscreen where you're able to order your sub and they make it right there for you. But now, not only will you order your sub on the touchscreen, you're also going to order everything. You want some toilet paper, you want a fingernail clipper, you want some of that that gas tank cleaner or whatever. You got to get all of that right there from the touchscreen.
Stealing. No more none of that shit.
Hold on. Let's go back and hear what he said. Remember, look, like listen up.
No more snacks. No more stealing. No more none of that shit.
No more snacks. No more stealing. No more none of that stuff. That's what's happening.
Everything baked there. They gotta get that shit for you. This shit is unbelievable.
So everything's in the back. They got to get it for you. You can't just go pick things up. That'd be how gas station owners do. They'll put up the glass. They'll put everything behind the wall. There's no more just picking up things in the retail fashion. That'd be how they fix it. But beyond that, they're not responsible for the loitering and the crime and the things of this nature. Not at all. And as I close, I want to say this. Shout out to the mayor for trying to come up with a solution for the crime and the violence. But guess what? You could do other things like, I don't know, arrest some of these guys that get accused of doing things like this. And when they get convicted in the court of law, give them a proper sentence. Don't give them a slap on the wrist and zero bail. All it's going to do is encourage that kind of behavior more. Hey, I could do whatever I want in the city. I could commit crime in the city, and I'm not really going to get punished when I get caught. Why wouldn't I keep doing it? That's going to be the message you send them when you give them these slaps on the wrist at best when they are convicted of a crime. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your take on what the mayor of St. Louis said? Let's hold the gas station owners accountable for the crime and violence that happens in and near their establishments. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. It's a ridiculous thing to suggest, and it's not going to help at all. Like, how is holding the business owner who is victim of a crime responsible for the crime going to solve it? It's all you're going to do is just reduce the number of businesses. Look, if I'm in the market to open a gas station or operate one that's already in existence, why would I go to St. Louis if that kind of law's on the books? I'm not going there. I'm going to take my business elsewhere in a safer place, in a more business friendly place. I'm not going to set up shop in that city at all. And if I do have a gas station there, I might have to move out. You know what? The risk isn't really worth it. Whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.